su español. Hello everyone, this is Ana, welcome to our Spanish. I hope you're doing great today, I'm really good here, and in this video we're going to talk about the subjunctives. Now, don't get scared, I know it's a little difficult to explain and understand the subjunctive, but we're going to work with this little by little, okay? Now, first of all, I'm going to give you an explanation about the subjunctive. It's a little long, so if you want to jump right into the situations and examples, you can go to the description box and you can find there what you need. Okay, so let's begin. The subjunctive is a little complicated because in Spanish, when we use the subjunctive, in English, we use either the present or the past. So it's not very obvious to know when to use it. First of all, the subjunctive is not something that is real, as the present, past and future, which you know that the action is happening or happened for sure. And it's not something that you're planning or you know it will happen for sure, but it's more like something might happen or you wish it happens. It's more like in a twilight zone. And this is because the subjunctive it's not a tense, it's a mood. It's not like the indicativo, which talks about actual facts, but the subjunctive expresses our desires, doubts, wishes, requests, and many other things. Secondly, the subjunctive cannot be alone as any other tense. For example, yo como, I eat. The subjunctive needs either another verb or an adverb. Now, because the subjunctive is a little weird, you might be wondering if you really need to learn it or if people really use it. I'll tell you the truth. Native Spanish speakers use it all the time in casual conversations, business conversations, any kind of conversation. However, I've met some foreigners who can express themselves very effectively even without using the subjunctive. But if you want your Spanish to be more natural and more native-like, you have to use the subjunctive. Whenever I hear a foreigner using the subjunctive, it feels like that's the extra ingredient that makes the language more natural and more familiar. Now, you don't have to be an advanced student to start learning the subjunctive. Actually, I think beginners can also use the subjunctive if they learn it as a pattern. Start learning patterns and that will make it easier. So that's why in this video I'm going to show you 3 situations, very easy situations, in which you must use the subjunctive and not any other verb tense. So you don't have to think about which verb tense to use or mood. So I told you the subjunctive it's a mood, but when we speak, we don't really think about our emotions and feelings, we just use it. And that's how I want you to use it. It's just a pattern, just a rule, and that's it. You just say it. Now first we're going to see the conjugation, but I won't spend much time in this because I think that you can look at it closer or memorize it later at your own pace, maybe after this video. But I want to show you how it looks because it looks very similar to the present. Now here's the present, and probably you know it by now. You can see the pattern. So with yo, the verb always ends in o, and then we have the AR verbs that always end in a sound, and ER verbs end in e sound, and IR verbs end in e sound and a little bit of e sound. Now here's the subjunctive, and you can see it's very similar, but we change the sounds, the final sounds. AR verbs end in e sound and ER and IR verbs end in a sound. Now you can see here both together, and you can see it's very similar. So you have to be careful with the final sounds. Now probably you're thinking, maybe people won't notice if I'm using the subjunctive or the present. Well, my friend, they will notice. I'm sorry. Now let's see the situations. So the imperative is when we command or give an order to someone. For example, come, camina, escribe. But when we want to give a negative order, we need to use the subjunctive. No corras, no griten, no use el elevador, no tome fotos, no lo toques, no olvides mi cumpleaños, no llegue tarde, no te vayas, no hables con desconocidos, no me sigas. Now for this, we need the verb querer or necesitar with the preposition que, always, and then the subjunctive. Now notice here that we always use the subjunctive when we want someone else to do something. If it's us who want to do or need to do something, then we use the infinitive. For example, quiero nadar or necesito descansar. Quiero que sepas una cosa. Quiero que vengas conmigo. Quiero que me escuche. Now, ella is optional. Quiero que ella me escuche. You can also say it like that. Quiero que piense en mí. O quiero que él piense en mí. Quiero que me digan la verdad. Remember, in Spanish, we don't always use the pronoun as ella, él, ellos, because the verb is already conjugated, so we can know who we're talking about. Now, we've been using quiero, but we can also say Ana quiere que su amiga entre a la misma universidad que ella. Él quiere que su hermano haga ejercicio. Nosotros queremos que seas feliz. ¿Quieres que compre algo de la tienda? Now, if these sentences are too complicated for you, don't worry. Just pay attention to the ones that you understand, okay? And start practicing with that. More examples now with need, necesitar. Necesito que imprimas estos documentos. Necesito que llames al banco. Necesito que llene estos papeles. Necesito que compres verduras. Necesito que me lleven al aeropuerto. Carla necesita que su cliente le pague. Él necesita que sus hijos vayan a una buena escuela. Necesitamos que usted nos dé sus datos. ¿Necesitas que te traiga algo? Remember again, if it's us who want to do or need to do something, then we use the infinitive. For example, ella quiere cantar or él necesita estudiar. Here we are using the verb esperar, which can mean to wait, to hope, or to expect. In these situations, it means to hope and sometimes to expect. And we always use it with que, always, and then the subjunctive. Espero que estés muy bien. Espero que tenga un buen fin de semana. Espero que pasemos el examen. Espero que se diviertan. Espero que tenga un buen viaje. Now we can also say, ella espera que su papá se mejore pronto. Mis padres esperan que termine la universidad el próximo año. Here you can see esperar means to expect. Esperamos que vivas muy feliz en tu nueva casa. Daniel espera que su novio le pida matrimonio. Now, just as querer and necesitar, when we wish something for ourselves, we use the infinitive. For example, espero viajar por toda Latinoamérica. Él espera terminar su proyecto mañana. Okay, so that was it for today. I hope this was useful for you and you liked it. Remember to practice as much as you can. The more you do it, the easier it will be. You can also subscribe to my channel. I will post a video every Saturday. See you soon. Nos vemos pronto.